Fox News Alert in the Transportation Department says the state of California broke the law by giving a commercial driver's license to a migrant accused of causing a freeway crash, killing 3 people. A new report claims California upgraded the driver's license 6 days before the accident, ignoring a federal order to comply with new restrictions banning illegal aliens from operating big rig trucks. Let's bring in Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy. Mr. Secretary, thanks for taking the time with us this afternoon. It's good to see you. You contend that this person, Jashanpreet Singh, should have never been behind the wheel of this truck.
That's right. So we did a nationwide audit, John, that showed that a lot of the states were issuing foreigners commercial driver's licenses, and they're doing it illegally. So at the end of September, we said no more, stop all foreigners from getting driver's licenses. It's called a non-domiciled CDL. Every state said they're complying, including California, John. Gavin Newsom said, I'm going to comply with the rule. But we saw with this crash, which you just showed, was the fact that Gavin Newsom didn't comply because he allowed a week ago this driver's license to be upgraded to a non-restricted driver's license. Had Gavin followed our rules per DOT, this guy would have never been on the road. 3 more people would be alive. So we're doing this because we're seeing a lot of foreigners, those who can't speak English, on our roadways, and it's harming the American citizens who want to be safe as they're bringing their kids to school, they're going out for groceries, or they're going to work. And so what we've done to start, we pulled $40 million, John, from California on one issue. But they're at the cusp of losing another $160 million. I don't want to take their money, but we will hold their money back if they don't comply with these really important rules. That was Gavin Newsom's choice. The states issue commercial driver's licenses. We give the guidance, they issue them. I gave the guidance, Gavin Newsom didn't follow it, and 3 people are now dead because he refused to follow the rules that come from DOT. So again, nice effort to try to pass the buck. But again, this is really simple stuff. Keep your citizens safe. Keep foreigners off the roads, especially those who aren't trained. Stop giving licenses illegally to people who are not in the country lawfully. Very simple stuff, John.
Right. We should also point out, too, that the employment authorization was given to Singh under the Biden administration as well. There's another tragic crash, this one in Florida that we covered as well. Harjinder Singh is the one allegedly behind the wheel here. We have discovered the following, and this is pretty shocking. Singh failed his CDL knowledge exam in Washington State 10 times over the course of 2 months, failed his air brakes knowledge exam 2 times, but Washington still issued his first CDL and California issued him another CDL. People at home might think, how in the world does that happen?
Yeah, so I think this was some great reporting from Bill Maluzhin. I don't know that the exact numbers are right, but he is right to say that multiple failures, and still this driver got his license before killing 3 people in Florida. And the truth is, I think we have a lot of fraud and abuse in the commercial driver license issuing space. Companies that are here testing drivers. Again, the driver that we're mentioning in Florida, he didn't speak English. 3 or 4 road signs he couldn't read, and a clear violation of the rule. So the question becomes, if you can't understand English, you can't understand road signs, how in the heck can you ever pass a test to be issued a commercial driver's license? You can't do it but for fraud. And so that is another investigation that we have undertaken to find out who are the good companies, who are the fraudulent bad companies, and we have to root them out. Again, you should expect to be safe when you're on the road. And by the way, John, it's these very foreign drivers with these kind of licenses that don't just drive the big rig or the tanker. They're also driving school buses, getting behind the wheel, taking kids to and from school, and there's no certainty that they actually have the skills to drive those vehicles. They understand the English language to stay safe when they're on the roadway. So a whole bunch of issues at play. And again, this comes under the backdrop of Joe Biden and Democrats letting 10 to 15 million illegals in the country. And now Gavin Newsom and others are bending over themselves to allow them to get commercial driver's licenses. And again, Trump administration, Donald Trump has said, we put America first. We are going to stop this charade. No more licenses until we can figure out how many problems we have in the system. And so Gavin didn't follow it. We put the rule out, and now we're going to take his money. We have other steps after money that we can take with California, but I want them to comply, John.
The story over the Indian illegal alien truck driver who's been now charged with killing 3 in a DUI crash. California Governor Gavin Newsom has acknowledged that illegal alien had a California CDL, but he is pointing the finger away. He is pointing the finger at the feds. This is what he said to Fox. He said, "This is a tragic situation, and as every other tragedy of the last 10 months, Secretary Noma's ordered Secretary Duffy to look for every opportunity to manipulate the facts to score cheap political points. But the federal government needs to look within before they blame outside." The federal government approved and renewed this individual's federal employment authorization multiple times, which allowed him to obtain a CDL in accordance with federal law. Now, we should just state the facts here. That was under the Biden administration, Stephen. But is it the case that a federal work permit just requires him to rubber stamp a California CDL?
No. So, look, this is a Democrat-caused calamity, heartbreaking calamity. The first crime against Americans was the Biden administration's decision to voluntarily free and release from custody an illegal alien within hours of crossing the southern border. Again, let's go back to the unending nightmare that we lived through for 4 years under Biden, where single adult men in groups, in caravans, or traveling alone would show up at the border, present themselves, announce, "I'm here illegally, I've invaded your country, I demand entry." And Biden would order the Border Patrol at taxpayer expense to ferry them on to the destination of their choice, in this case, California. That happened in 2022. The Biden administration did one other thing. Donald Trump issued a regulation barring work permits for illegal aliens. Biden reversed that regulation, mandated work permits for illegal aliens, issued him a work permit. And by the way, we're now being sued by every leftist group you can imagine trying to get us to keep giving work permits to illegal aliens because that's what leftists want. Then Gavin Newsom in his state has a policy to give commercial driver's licenses to individuals who do not know how to speak English and do not know how to drive. Those are policy choices that Governor Newsom and his state have made. So it's one Democrat policy choice after another.
Sanctuary states are terrible.
I saw something that startled me. That was ICE arresting an Indian national, an illegal alien operating an 18-wheeler in Oklahoma. And you can see on your screen now, he was carrying a New York State issued commercial driver's license that could also be used as a real ID. His first name was listed as, quote, "no name given." That's literally a real ID he was arrested with. Meanwhile, ICE has arrested at least 91 illegals operating commercial vehicles following that deadly crash back in August in Florida. That was also an Indian national. This has got to give a lot of pause and concern for people that we have a lot of illegal aliens out there that shouldn't be behind commercial vehicles.
Yeah, it's really scary, Griff. And, you know, like you said, to see that on a driver's license issued by a state, no name given, and the worst part, there's a real ID star right up there in the corner. I don't know about you all, but it was like going through a security clearance for me to get my real ID. So I can't believe that we're giving illegal aliens who have no right to be here these driver's licenses. You have these sanctuary states that want to go ahead and try to just make it welcoming for these people that we don't know who they are. And again, these are CDL licenses. These people are transporting hazardous goods, materials at times. And in some cases, we don't know exactly what they're doing. And look how many American citizens have lost their lives because of individuals like that have these driver's licenses. You know, Homeland Security Investigations is dedicated to working with the other state police departments and our other federal agencies to make sure we get these IDs off the street and arrest these criminal aliens.
And of course, this man entered the US illegally in 2023 and was released by the Biden administration, according to this report from DHS.
If you enjoy this content, please consider subscribing to my channel to stay up to date with future videos. Thank you for watching.